The State of the Nation address of the President of Kazakhstan will contribute to the competitiveness of business in the country, said Assistant to the President Maulen Ashimbayev. He said that measures such as the 3-year tax exemption for small and medium-sized businesses and the moratorium on checking the SMEs will definitely play a role in development of entrepreneurship. Kassym-Jomart Kemilovich, in his State of the Nation address, raised one of the up-to-date topics which are discussed by entrepreneurs. This is lending to businesses. Over the past years, the number of lending entities has decreased. The economy can't develop without lending. Thus, corresponding tasks were assigned to the National Bank and the government, which will work on this issue and provide entrepreneurs with affordable and long-term loans. In general, from the point of view of business support, I think there are a lot of innovations in the State of the Nation address. The State of the Nation address is essentially a guideline that defines the development goals and objectives for the coming period for the whole society, noted advisor to President Yerlan Karin.
Жолдау бұл атқарушы билік органдарына нақты ұстаным, бағдар.
The State of the Nation address is a kind of call to action for executive authorities in solving assigned tasks. But of course, we need financial and legal support to achieve the goal. Therefore, the government is given the opportunity to plan the programs. It will also allow deputies to take into account all that was said in the State of the Nation address when drawing up and discussing bills.
Осының барлығын ескеріп, айтылған ұсыныстарды белгілі бір заңдарға, заң жобаларына өзгерісті талқылау барысында ескеруге мүмкіндік береді.
A second industrial park is planned to be opened in the capital of Kazakhstan. The first industrial park is almost full. Business environment is very attractive and resonates well with the goal of the park. Projects in the automotive and food industries, construction and pharmaceutical enterprises, as well as companies in the field of IT technologies and scientific research will be placed on the territory of the new zone.
Расширять мы планируем все виды деятельности.
26 types of activities are suggested, and we envisage to implement a very large number of projects. In principle, we don't have to attract any type of activity. We are interested in all the projects that can be implemented on the territory of the SEZ. Currently, there are 2 special economic zones in the capital. The first zone covers the administrative business center of the city and the existing industrial park. The site of the second special economic zone has 9 projects. Moreover, most of the projects are located on the territory of Nazarbayev University.
Все 9 участников СЭС, они являются казахстанскими компаниями.
All 9 participants in the SEZ are Kazakh companies, but 2 of them are established by companies from the USA and China. The fact is that these companies attract certain technologies to the territory of Kazakhstan and develop directly in Kazakhstan.
И развивается уже непосредственно в Казахстане.
For example, this IT company is engaged in the development of unique smart applications for the automation of utilities and public services, as well as the creation of other digital solutions. Like other participants in the subzone, it was granted a number of special benefits and preferences.
Специальная экономическая зона дает нам возможности.
The special economic zone itself gives us opportunities like a convenient place, a resource base of specialists who immediately get acquainted with our products and become our employees, and of course, tax benefits that allow us to successfully compete in this market together with the decisions of foreigners. Experts emphasize that the SEZ projects can be of any scale, from large multi-billion-dollar projects with the attraction of foreign investment and wide export potential to small but important for the development of the city. Experts said that the main thing is that the projects must be high-tech and innovative. Production volumes of the machine building industry will be significantly increased over the next 5 years. In financial terms, the value of the production volumes will rise to 2 trillion tenge. Experts said that there is potential for the increase. Last year, domestic enterprises manufactured products worth 1.1 trillion tenge. For further development of the industry, the Ministry of Industry and Infrastructure Development and the Union of Mechanical Engineers of the Republic developed a roadmap until 2024. Analysts pointed out that the adoption of the law on industrial policy will simplify the process of providing state support to the enterprises with export potential.
2000 жылдан бері салыстырсақ біз машина жасау саласы 46 миллиард теңге өндірісі болатын.
In general, the machine building or engineering industry is being well developed. The Program of Industrial and Innovative Development, which was initiated in 2013 by the first president of Kazakhstan, has had a huge impact. In the 2000s, the industry manufactured products worth 46 billion tenge. At the end of 2018, products worth 1.1 trillion tenge were produced, and the growth was estimated at 18 times. We produced only spare parts previously, but now we manufacture the latest equipment such as electric and diesel locomotives.
Соңғы түрлерін шығарып жатыр. Ол соңғы түрлерін алсақ тепловоздар, электровоздар.
Fashion designers from Central Asia use ethnic motifs in their collections, including oriental patterns on trousers, accessories made of felt, and scarves with national ornaments. The fashion designers say that unique stylistic solutions based on national traditions garner the interest of modern trendsetters. Nowadays, our fashion designers promote old fabrics, which were used by our grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and ancestors. The fashion designers create absolutely unique and wearable clothes, which show creativity, art, and high fashion. This is very important. It is also necessary to introduce our uniqueness of our culture, patterns, and colors. It is no secret that today most of the designers use the ethno style as a special trait in the world of fashion. This style has its own characteristics. One of the traits is that these clothes and shoes are made of natural fabrics and materials. For instance, the clothes are made of silk, cotton, wool, leather, and linen. The unique and bright collections made by the young designers from Central Asia region have become a new global fashion trend. These collections also inspire other foreign designers to create new styles. You know, 3 years ago, the fashion collection of Dries van Noten had Uzbek patterns. Everyone was surprised and interested in this ornament, which the fashion designer used in his collection. All the designers in the world are inspired by Central Asia. Fashion experts noted that it is not necessary to wear the entire national dress in order to be trendy. The look should be decorated with little details of ethno motifs. Moreover, the fashion designers are doing everything necessary to meet the demands of Kazakh clients who craves for the latest fashion designs.
Я думаю, что в каждой стране и каждой стране присуща своя...
I think that every country has its own unique history, which should be showcased through art and design. This is an achievement of every country. Kazakhstan has a very big achievement, given that it is a large country, and it should be expressed through fashion.
Есть очень большое состояние, которое нужно обязательно передавать через моду.
The yearly held International Fashion Weeks proved that Central Asian motifs perfectly match with the European style. These fashion weeks are organized in the region and beyond. Moreover, foreign countries use ancient images, which demonstrate the unique spirit of the Central Asian ethno style. Samarkand hosted an international festival, Melodies of the East, for the 12th time. Remarkable musicians and composers, as well as nearly 300 performers from 75 countries took part in the event, which was held in Uzbekistan. People from Central Asia, Africa, Southern America, and Europe arrived for the festival. The main goals of the festival are to popularize musical art of different nations and ethnicities, as well as expand international creative relations. Babalar Sazi Ethno Ensemble showcased their mastery at the event in Samarkand. The ethno style is primarily for improvisation. It is freedom for a creative person. It is the freedom of self-expression. It is an opportunity to share our feelings to the audience. Of course, the event is a platform to show the great mastery of our musicians. The first Forum of Asian Writers starts tomorrow in the capital of Kazakhstan. Representatives from 44 countries will take part in the event. The attendees will be writers, winners of prestigious international awards, leaders of the Union of Writers and publishers. Prose writers, playwrights and novelists will be discussing issues relating to the world literary processes. Kazakh poet Baurzhan Jakib said that it is necessary that writers follow the trends. Today, there is a need to develop the Institute of Literary Agents. They are managers who accompany writers and be involved in his or her project, from the idea stage until the bookshelves. These managers give advice and gather focus groups of readers. Thus, the quality of the writings improves significantly. Baurzhan Jakib publishes his works on the internet. He has more than 3,000 subscribers in social network. Today, he recommends following his example by learning contemporary methods of promoting creative works. This is also a requirement of time. Tomorrow's forum allows writers not only to exchange experience in search of new forms of interaction with readers, but also strengthen literary and cultural ties between countries located in the Asian region. Famous Kazakh writer Zaure Turikhanova will be releasing the continuation of her popular book Amina Turan in the Country of Nomads. The fantasy genre tells the story about an exciting journey of a 12-year-old girl who travels in the adventurous country of nomads. The book will be completed by the end of this year. The second book will be called Amina Turan on the Great Silk Road. Zaure Turikhanova said that her main goal is to write about interesting characters that are easily relatable and understandable to young readers.
Дети читают, им нравится, и они хотят.
Children read the book and they like it. They want to read about characters whom they can relate to. The characters' names should be similar to the readers. The characters should also look like their readers, so the children can relate to them. This is my goal as a writer of children's books, and I also want to write the books which will awaken the children's imagination.
Разбудит их воображение.
On top of her creative works, Zaure Turikhanova wrote guidebooks of Almaty and Nur Sultan. She created a unique format using colorful illustrations and bright photographs. The books are designed for children and adults. The books contain information on the sites and history of the cities. The books are placed in the Library of Congress in the United States. Now, the guidebooks are kept in the Library of John Adams and Thomas Jefferson buildings, which were named after the American presidents.
Книга об Алматы была успешной, и мы подумали, ну почему бы...
The book about Almaty was successful, and we thought to ourselves, why not write a book about the capital? Since the capital has a centuries-old history, and at the same time, many important events of our country took place there. We named the book as the heart of our homeland, Wonderful Astana.
Мы ее назвали «Сердце нашей Родины. Прекрасная Астана».
The aspiring author, Zaure Turikhanova, wants her works to be published and read beyond Kazakhstan. Al-Farabi Research, Education and Cultural Center has opened in the capital of India. The center offers an opportunity for the public to learn about works of greatest scientists who has made a fundamental contribution to many fields of science, as well as get to know the Kazakh culture and history more closely. The center will also provide information about the education system in Kazakhstan, existing exchange programs between students, and provide the necessary advice to those wishing to study in the country.
Al-Farabi кезінде әлемнің екінші ұстазы атанған Аристотель бұл бүкіл әлемге ортақ тұлға.
Al-Farabi is an important figure for all mankind. This man wanted to build an ideal society that is made up of responsive and virtuous people. He devoted a lot of time and works to the topic of moral and people of virtuous society. Well-known foreign philosophers such as Plato and Aristotle talked about the same concept. His words and reasoning is still relevant and applicable until today.
Шегіне жеткізіп дамытқан Al-Farabi, сол кездегі жазбалары, сол кездегі ұстанымдары қазір өте маңызды болып отыр.
The opening of the Cultural Center is dedicated to the celebration of the 1150th anniversary of Al-Farabi, the great philosopher of the East. In 2020, a significant date will be celebrated under the auspices of UNESCO. There are more than 600 facilities of cultural, historical, and natural heritage recorded in the sacred map of Kazakhstan. There are 58 facilities only in Almaty region. Many tourists have visited the places. The number of tourists is increasing every year. Jarkent Mosque is one of the most visited sites in the region. More than 3,700 people visited the mosque last year. The grand building, made in the 19th century, has captured the interest of both locals as well as foreigners. People arrive here mostly from Poland and other countries. Tourists say that they've heard about the holy places from their friends and relatives who have already been here. The building was used for different purposes since the establishment of Soviet Union. It used to be a warehouse, granary, and barrack for border guards. A study on the mosque was conducted for the first time 70 years ago. As a result, the historical building was taken under the state protection. The building is unique because not a single nail was used for its construction. I came here for the first time. This is a very interesting and amazing place. Next time, I will come here with my family. We have given services worth 77 million tenge over the last 6 months. Comparing to last year, this is between 2 million and 2.5 million tenge higher. The majority of tourists come to see the mosque. They also visit the holy tree. Over 2 million tourists visited the sightseeing places in Almaty region last year. This year, 2.2 million people are expected to arrive to visit the tourism facilities in the region. Tekemit, which is a textile floor or wall covering, clothes and felt-made accessories, are made by the region's ancestors for many centuries. These materials are made to protect the wearer against the cold and hot weather, as well as arrows. The technology of felting wool is one of the varieties of Kazakh folk art. The process is still relevant up to this modern day. The innovation of felting technique is presented in one of the kindergartens in Almaty. Experts said that the technique can help a person develop fine motor skills.
It
can develop the critical and creative thinking of children, communication skills, and ability to work in a team. The educators consulted with specialists and craft masters for a long time before they introduced the technique. Nowadays, all the materials are served in a light form. Before each lesson, the children are told about the story of the origin of the ornaments used, followed by the creation of samples. And after that, the children start to create the handiworks. The children make the products themselves. The children don't know the origin of the wool, felt, and what are these materials made of. So, we decided to organize a club where they can see with their own eyes how these things are produced. And they also definitely tried to create the products themselves. The teachers said that the club is created as a platform for the new generation of Kazakhstan to learn about national handicraft, as well as encourage them to be interested in crafts. The move will lead to one main goal, which is the preservation of the spiritual values through generations. And he sang a gallant double bass. An international event of contrabass was organized in the Chamber Hall of Astana Opera, where the audience was introduced to a unique timbre and wide possibilities of the musical instrument. It is very rare that the lowest sound of the string instrument is performed as a solo. Works of Giovanni Bottesini, Franco Proto, Ruggero Leoncavallo, Manuel Ponce, and the classic of Kazakh music, compositions by Gaziza Zhubanova, were performed at the evening concert. The Astana Opera and the concert guests, winner of international competitions Almas by Gozhin, demonstrated their performing skills. There will be a work by Giovanni Bottesini, the great contrabass performer and an 18th century virtuoso. He composed a duet with a violin and an orchestra for double bass. The work shows the possibilities of the contrabass at such a level that the instrument can even compete with the violin. During the performance, double notes, arpeggios, and even quick passages reach 4 octaves sound. Even in some moments, it happens that the violin sounds lower than the double bass.